Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Wild's War Cry. I am here today once again. I won't be doing a lot of the talking today, though, and you'll see why in just a second. But I did bring with me the carnivorous, the courageous, the kind of casual sometimes, Chris.
Hey.
That's Chris for you.
That's
And
me.
we have the
That's
ultimate destruction, the unruly usurper, Ulysses.
You are aware that you're going to have to introduce me like that from here on out.
If I can remember it, sure. Yeah, I'll write
Okay.
that. I'll write that down somewhere.
Okay, I like that.
All right. So today, of course, I wanted to take a little bit of time and talk about something that we all love because the three of us, all like video games. We talk about them constantly and kill each other in various video games as often as possible. Chris and Ulysses actually have an ongoing rivalry in something I hear is called basketball.
It's a one-sided rivalry.
Is it really that one-sided?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's never beaten me, and every time we've played, I've won by over 15 points every time, I'd say.
Ulysses,
First of all, I beat you at least 3 times.
step your game.
Name the 3 times. Exactly.
All right, let's keep the basketball talk for another podcast. Today, though, we want to combine our love of video games and wrestling, and obviously, we're going to talk about WWE 2K16. Now, I unfortunately, due to no fault of my own, have not been able to get a hold of a copy of the game yet. But I'm going to still sit over here and play 2015 and pretend I'm one of the cool kids. However, Ulysses and Chris have both been playing 2016. So we're going to talk to them about it. I kind of want to first get some history from both of you real quick on how many of the WWE games you've kind of played. Don't need to list every one. Just how long have you been playing WWE-based wrestling games, Ulysses?
Well, my first experience with WWE games was as a kid. I used to play that WrestleMania arcade cabinet a lot because the arcade near my house used to have it. That was awesome. And pretty much every system that I had from there on out, I would buy at least one wrestling game. Like, I used to have, like, Raw, and then I had, like, No Mercy for the N64. And then I played, like, half of the SmackDown versus Raw games. And
Did you play Bring the Pain? That's the important question.
yeah, that is that the one with Brock Lesnar's scary face on the cover?
Is that the one where you can jump off a helicopter onto somebody?
Okay, I don't remember the helicopter thing, but yeah, I believe it's the one with Lesnar's face on the cover.
That one to this day has the best story mode because I just remember
Yeah.
you could walk behind stage and like slap Booker T in the face.
Yeah, it had a really good story mode. I remember playing that first at a friend's house, and then one of my roommates actually got a copy of it. Chris, what all wrestling games have you been playing that fall under the WWE license?
The first one I played was like SmackDown vs. Raw 06 or 07. The first one I owned was actually Day of Reckoning 2 for the GameCube.
Yeah, I hear that one has one of the better character creators and moveset things.
It's actually a pretty fun game.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, Ulysses, then, if you would give me your first impressions of WWE 2K16.
Okay, so I was ridiculously hyped with this game because I hadn't bought a wrestling game since 2K14, and that game was, for lack of a better way to phrase it, was kind of a letdown comparison to 2K to WWE 13. 'Cause I felt that one was way more fun. Even though it's roughly the same, but I digress.
Right.
So, yeah, the first thing I do with pretty much every wrestling game that I do is I go straight to the creator wrestler, because who doesn't want to play as himself kicking John Cena's ass?
Okay.
And I felt like the creator was, like, the creator character thing, it's really detailed in the sense of, like, you could do a really cool face or a very distorted face or body or whatever. But to me, that's, like, it's fun, but I'm awful at that, so I don't really care. My favorite is more of the attires. And I feel like the attires are very limiting on this one as compared to previous ones. like I just remember in WWE 13, I was able to create these ridiculous outfits. Like I have a picture somewhere where I created like me and my friends as like DC superheroes and Marvel superheroes, and it's really hard to do it on this one. So that to me is a major downgrade. But it is really good if you want to make like an actual like wrestling looking wrestler, like with the kick boots. That's fun. Like I love it. I love the ability to make myself look like if I belong there standing next to Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler. That looks awesome.
So you're not giving yourself like green skin and making your face look contorted or anything?
No, well, I have one character like that. That's just because I use him as my ragdoll. Just so when I create a new guy and I have these new moves with them, I want to try someone out, but I don't want the CPU to resist in any way, so I just toss my ragdoll in there.
Gotcha.
Anyway, and well, yeah. So and the moveset creator is actually very well detailed. That's very like it. If you're willing to go through every little thing and like change the moves exactly how you like it, it's amazing.
Cool. Now, for those who may not know, one of the problems with WWE 2K15 was that it cut a lot of stuff out. There were many complaints on, features that were in the past games that had kind of become staples that were removed, and then some of the stuff they added seemed to just kind of be unnecessary. But also, depending on which version of the game for what console, being the past generation or the current generation of consoles, you may have even not had certain modes. Chris, how did this one stack up for you as far as content?
The content, it added a lot more to it. Like, they brought back, for 2K16, they brought back the Creative Championship, they brought back Create a Diva, they brought back, Create an Arena, and all that. They added a lot more that they took out in 15 because, it was their first year on a new console. They kind of had to hold back because they didn't know what they were doing, and that's kind of understandable. But the omissions that they had in 16 are jarring. I mean, the create a story or custom story mode. I mean, I can understand why they didn't have that in there. Like, I read an article about it, and they said it's like a huge undertaking, and it would have delayed the game by a long time, like months even, just to have that in there. So I can understand that. And the one that I thought that was just unnecessary is just the lack of the four horsewomen, the divas that everybody wanted to play as, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, all them.
And to hear they're not even going to be DLC,
Yeah. Like, they're saying, oh, it's so hard because, we got to come in, get their face scan. They got Santino Marella's face scan. They could have left him out. He's not even on the roster. He retired. They could have went in and got Charlotte for his spot. I mean, that's just a lame excuse that they're expecting the people just to take without even refuting it. But it's just, that was lame. But other than those omissions, there was one tiny thing they left out that I really hated was in Universe mode, which is where I spend a majority of the time in the WWE 2K games. They left out the ability to have a custom title match. Like, you can't go in and edit and put a title match in anymore. The title matches have to happen naturally, so that's really bad for booking if you're, like, doing a show on say you're doing a Universe mode on YouTube or something like that. You can still do title matches in Play Now, but it's just dumb that they left it out in Universe mode. And I mean, that's something that's easily fixable, and I hope they're doing an upcoming, like, update or DLC or something like that. But other than those, the game's really great. They really worked on polishing it and making it look more authentic, and it's just all around a better game than it was in 15.
Okay. Ulysses, what have you been spending most of your time doing with the game?
Well, other than the one of the few things I love to do ever since I was a kid is I like to create me and my buddies and like put us all up against each other and fight for like a custom belt that I made just because for kicks. Most of my time has been spent on the My Career, and like it's really fun, but it's weird because it's cool that you get to be the kind of superstar that you want to be, and you could answer stuff in a heel way or bad guy way, and you can hear and answer things like like John Cena and be like the all-American good guy or whatever. But to be perfectly honest, none of these responses feel like
Authentic.
like they do anything. Like a perfect example is there's a part, like I just played a part where I was feuding against the Authority for a second, and it was the Big Show and the Kane, and they were beating me up. And next, Roman Reigns comes out, and I was like, oh, that's cool. They added that fact that Roman Reigns hates the Authority, right? And they booked a match for for SummerSlam where it was me and Roman versus Kane and Big Show, and I was like, cool. And then it's annoying because the match immediately starts off with a cutscene, which this game has far too many cutscenes for my taste. But there's a scene where like Roman tries to go for a hot tag, and it lets you decide double cross him or accept the tag. Me, I wanted to double cross him because who wants to be Rollins? I want to be Rollins. So, like, I double cross Roman or whatever, right? And then the next Monday night on Raw, you'd assume you'd be in a feud with Roman, but I started a feud with like Dolph Ziggler of all people, and then they never mentioned Roman. That to me is super annoying and such a waste. Like, why am I not immediately into a feud with Roman Reigns?
Yeah, interesting.
But here's the thing. This was like a common complaint back in NBA 2K14 is when they started adding story elements to it. This is the initial run of my career. It's doing the same progression it is in the NBA, so I'm happy with where it's going because I know it's coming ahead. Just keep Spike Lee out of it. So last year in 2K15, the story mode was awful. It was just a grind. There was no story. I mean, not the story mode. My career mode was awful. There's just a grind. There's no story to it. This year, they've added a little bit of more story elements, and you can kind of choose which path you want to go upon. You can become a raging douche, or you can be the goody two-shoes. Personally, I like to be the kiss-up, so I'm siding with the Authority all the way. Like, I'm favorable with the Authority right now. And I mean, I like that, and I know next year. I know it sucks to say, oh man, next year. Why couldn't it have been this year? But they're making progress. It's going to be even better next year, even though the game just came out a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But still,
already looking forward to the next one.
I do hate they still have the grind element in there, and it takes forever to get your guy good. Like, I think I spent 6 hours of gameplay, 6.5 hours in NXT, it was awful because I was facing Finn Balor every 2 weeks, and then in between those weeks I'd be facing Baron Corbin, and I'm like, okay, I know what he's going to do here, I know what he's going to do here. It just got boring. But now that I'm on SmackDown and Superstars, it's gotten a little bit better because I'm facing more different people every week. And the rivalry element, I actually like the addition of cutscenes because it has unique cutscenes to an individual. Like, I started a rivalry with Sting. Like, I didn't even want it. It was a mystery opponent and just happened to be Sting. So he came out, or Triple H came out to say some words to me or something. I don't know about what. And then Sting came out, and I had the option to either help Triple H or help Sting. So I helped Triple H, and then next Thursday on SmackDown, Sting came out with the bat, pointed at me. And then, next week, after my match, you hear Sting's music, and then all of a sudden you see Seth Rollins and Kane and Big Show run out to help protect me. They're all facing towards the ramp, and then lo and behold, Sting shows up behind me and hits the slot drop on me. I haven't gotten to the payoff yet because I haven't played in the pay-per-view yet, but I just like the detail they went into for every superstar. I mean, I know Sting has his cutscenes because he's Sting, and he's a big dude right now, so they're obviously going to go the extra mile for him. But I'm liking the way my career is going and where it's heading. So yeah, I definitely recommend it.
Okay. Ulysses, is there a certain wrestler that they've added to the roster this year that you were really excited to play?
Well, this was the first time I'll be able to play as a single competitive version of Seth Rollins. So that was interesting. But I guess off the top of my head, okay, yeah, I know exactly. Like, I was so hyped up to play as Sami Zayn because I love all things Sami Zayn. So,
well, he was in 15 as well, but you didn't have that game.
yeah, I didn't have him, and that was fun. I love playing as Sami Zayn. Oh, Enzo and Cass.
Yeah,
Oh,
I figured
dude.
you were gonna say though.
I could play that intro a million times, and I would never, ever get bored. And my favorite a person to actually play against, and it's not because I don't like him, or it's not because I hate him, or it's not because I want to see him get beat. It's just because he has the sweetest mullet, and that's Fit Finley. Oh God! Everyone just Google the picture that they have him in there. He has the sweetest mullet. It's legendarily beautiful.
He's a great wrestler, but that mullet—that's what makes him.
That mullet is what makes it. Like he could be like a 72 overall, but that mullet puts him right out of 90. He's great.
Chris, was there someone for you that you were really excited to get to try out?
Oh, all of the NXT guys, pretty much. You know, Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, Hideo Itami, even Baron Corbin. I was just excited to play with all of them, and then more so, I was excited to play with the Shield members, not being a part of the Shield for once. You know, as their own individual stars.
Right.
Even though Dean Ambrose kind of his face game didn't turn out too well. That's one of the issues with the game. A lot of the character models do not look good. But
Bray Wyatt looks awful.
Fortunately enough, when you're looking far away where the camera is, like when you're actually playing, it doesn't look that bad, so it kind of evens out.
Right.
But those entrances, you might want to skip them because those character models are hideous.
Is there anything in particular that you find that you don't like about the game so far that really sticks out?
I didn't like the submission
Agreed.
minigame. I'm starting to get a hang of it, but I still don't like it. I tap out far too often to simple moves because I just can't play the minigame.
Oh, okay. What about you, Ulysses?
Okay, this is gonna be like just, I guess, the spark in me or whatever you want to call it. That's super annoyed. Mikey Whipwreck in this game is like 85 overall, and like the Ultimate Warrior is like 90. But someone who's legit awesome and badass like Tyson Kidd is like 84 or something like that. That's garbage. Like Mikey Whipwreck isn't better than like Tyson Kidd, not even in his like deepest, darkest dreams and whatnot. That is super annoying. And like Shane McMahon is like 83, so he's like he's just barely less than Tyson Kidd, which is awful. Like they need to find a way to fix that.
He's better than Tyler Breeze, who was an 82.
Really? Breeze is an 82? Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to fix that.
But
like, now.
I'll say this: the ratings don't mean anything in the game. Really.
I know they don't mean anything, but still, like to be able to see that, like Mr. McMahon is 84. That is the equivalent of exactly what Tyson Kidd is, which is garbage.
Hey, he did win the belt. Okay.
And Rumble.
Stupid, like little things like that, just completely like take me out of my disbelief. And surprise, seeing as the best. It is great that they have Heath Slater as the worst. Nice touch on that.
I don't like the new resiliency thing. Sure, it's great if you have it, but when you're playing when you're facing off against somebody and you hit him with 3 F5s, and it's Heath Slater, and for some reason he has resiliency, Heath Slater's not kicking out of 1 F5, let alone 3. Boom, computer hits triangle and he automatically kicks out. I'm like, that just frustrates me.
Right.
All I do is just pin him immediately afterwards. Makes it look awkward and everything.
What about the showcase mode, Ulysses? I think you mentioned that.
Okay, I get what WWE was trying to do. I get it. It's awesome. The retrospective of Steve Austin is cool. I just have one gigantic issue. Let me play the actual damn match. Like, I hate all these quick time events. They're not fun. They don't make me feel like I'm playing the game. And the most annoying thing is, like, I know I could name at least 1 or 2 in the I know it's the Shawn Michaels one, and I know there's the Rock one, where the match starts, and like it starts with a cutscene of Steve Austin walking into the ring, and they start fighting and everything, and the match goes on, and the cutscene's like a legit probably like a minute, and then it just throws you into the game willy nilly. That annoys the hell out of me. Like, I get that they're trying to make you see the exact history of it, and they want you to go all in. I don't necessarily care all that much to do the exact damn thing. Like, just let me go in there. Just give me the little thing that says on the top, make sure you hit this note, make sure you hit this note. That's fine. But when you take away a minute of my time to show me a movie when I'm trying to play a video game, pisses me off.
I can get that. All right. So, my last thing I want to talk about, I think I've played almost every SmackDown vs. Raw game that's come out. And one thing that seems to be kind of consistent, except for maybe 2K15, because I didn't really try it on that one, is that the online kind of sucks, right? You know, it's cool to go download people's creations and stuff like that. However, trying to actually play a match with your friends online in the past has been quite the problematic instance, because it's laggy. If it drops the connection at all, it makes it into two separate matches. There's just, it's really bad. So have either one of you tried the online yet for this one?
No, I'd stay far away from that.
Yeah, I've only done the online for like downloading other wrestlers and like downloading logos and stuff like that, but I have not tried an actual match yet. I have planned on doing it sometime soon because it'll be funny just to see what kind of a mess I could get myself into. But other than that, I haven't really tried an actual match, no.
Okay. All right. And my last question then is going to be, Ulysses, if you could put any one wrestler in the game that's not in the game, who would you want to see in there?
I'm not sure if Eddie Guerrero's in there or not, but I would love to see Eddie Guerrero. I'm pretty sure he's not in there. Yeah, he's not in. Eddie Guerrero's not in the game, so I'll pick Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, good answer.
That or the whole Radicals.
All the Radicals. What about you, Chris?
Kerry Von Erich.
Really? Why Kerry Von Erich?
Because he's Von Erich.
Okay. All right.
Is he the one that's still alive?
Yes.
I think so.
I think he's the one that's alive and is training the two Von Erich kids now.
He's got like a 1 in 5 chance to say if we were right or not.
Yeah.
Because I think there's 5 Erics, right?
I believe so, yeah. I really do think he's the one that's still alive, though. But, okay, all right. Something I'm
Bruno
looking forward to.
Sammartino.
I wouldn't be against that. That might be good. That could be fun. You know, I don't know. I'm looking. Oh, my answer is Glacier, by the way. I would want Glacier in there.
Oh, never mind. I veto all of mine. The Shockmaster.
No, come on, man. No.
You know what we need? We need Steve Austin circa 2001, because God knows we need more Steve Austin in this goddamn game.
Steve Austin circa 2001 is in the game.
No, it's 2003.
First of all, I would just like to point out, I'm pretty sure, like, even the worst
Is that where we're ending?
creator wrestler maker could make Shockmaster, because it's literally just big dude, ugly vest, sparkly helmet. I'm sure anyone could make that.
Challenge accepted.
I like it. All right, well, if you want to stick with Ulysses and see how his updates are going for making the Shockmaster, you can follow him on Twitter. You can also follow Chris on Twitter and myself, and I'm going to put all that in the description. And it sounds like you two like the game, so recommend? Yeah?
Yeah, I definitely recommend. We did a lot of complaining. We did a lot of complaining about the game, but not enough to praise it. The game's really good. I definitely recommend it.
There's a lot to complain about, but that's just kind of who I am. But the one thing I cannot complain is that this game is really fun. So yes, highly recommend it.
All right, good. So go out and pick it up. Give WWE more money.